Welcome to Coaching the Brave podcast with Yvonne Chase. I am Yvonne Chase, and I am here to provide you positivity and possibility because hope and community is something that we all strive for and we all really need. So enjoy and sit back. I am so thankful that you are here another week because what we're going to be discussing here is just so many fun people who are not only part of the military community, but who are also part of the civilian community and who have things to offer for the military. And it's not only about interviews and chatting together, but it's also about experiences of coaching and meditations and just fun little quirky things that come to mind that I just want to share with you. And I hope that they bring you a light at the end of the day to take with you to the rest of the week. And I hope you really enjoy. Without further ado, let's get into it. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, world. Thank you so much for tuning in another week on Coaching the Brave podcast with Yvonne Chase. I am Yvonne Chase, and today we are going to have on Dr. LaQuita Monely. She is a devoted wife, proud retired Army wife, mother of 5, and grandmother of 5. She also operates in purpose and expertise as a transformational coach, mentor, and international speaker. LaQuita's mantra is to charge others with the task of progressing into the best version of themselves. As a certified speaker, coach, trainer, and facilitator, LaQuita shifts from ministry to marketplace with transformational messages on mindset and leadership that produce real life growth strategies. Whether you focus on personal development or scaling your latest entrepreneurial venture, every successful project requires the right tools. LaQuita assists her clients with proven principles that empower them to take intentional action steps to become the best version of themselves. LaQuita presents implementable life tools that lead to lasting success in life and business. So today's talk, we're going to be conversing about how a military spouse could be more of a partner with her or his or their active duty service member. And the way that I found LaQuita was actually through an email of a spouse networking platform that I'm a part of. And this platform is amazing for military and first responder families because have you ever seen or had a neighbor or been that person yourself that you have the skills, you have a craft, you have something to say, so you are either a writer or a podcaster or you provide services as a professional, you have your license, all of the good stuff, and you just want to be able to travel with your spouse and do the same thing that you do everywhere you go? Well, Spousely, if you haven't heard of it, my link is in the show notes. So go over there, whether you're military affiliated or not, and go support them because their whole mission at Spousely is to offer quality products and services from military and first responder families. Spousely is a community championing and supporting one another while we're on the move. So, yeah, those of you who don't feel supported and would like to contribute with your families and give your craft to others, provide that skill to others, this is the platform to do it. So, use my referral link in the show notes and explore. Have a blast. If you have a gift that you need to buy for someone, look at Spousely first. or if you have a service that you would like to gift to someone or that you need for yourself, go to Spousely and check it out. They have trainers, they have writers, they have podcasters, they have people that make clothes, they have people that make baby toys or signs, and all of the things under the sun. Just go there and enjoy. Yes, I was able to find Dr. Monely on Spousely through that email. And I was so thankful that I was able to reach out to her because she has so much to offer for military. And I look forward to all of you hearing her story and how she became who she is. And another reason why I'm excited to have her on is because as military spouses, we tend to forget who we are, or at least we try very hard to keep that feeling of who we are alive. And we talk about it in this conversation. So I'm very excited for you to hear that. Without further ado, here is Dr. LaQuita Monely.
All right. Hello, LaQuita. How are you today?
I am doing great, Giovanna. How are you?
Doing amazing. I just have to say, just getting an email from Spousely and really understanding the military community and getting the vibe that you came across on my email, I was just like, I need to interview her and I hope that she's open to it. And guys, I want to say she is very open to it. So thank you, Laquita. I appreciate it so much because
Oh,
I know
you're
that you
most
have.
welcome.
I just know that you have so much value to share with the military community. And as a military spouse yourself and now veteran spouse, I just want to get into it, you know?
Yes, yes. Listen, thank you so much for asking. The ask was like, oh wow, yeah. Because when I saw the request come through and I went and I looked, I was like, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I
that's
love this.
wonderful.
This is gonna be great.
Yes, absolutely. And the fact that you're also a minister and a coach as well, a speaker, an author, a facilitator, it's just so many fun things that I just would love to share with the military community. That way they can have this resource available to them and you can help more people as well in whatever they need help with.
Yeah,
So,
thank you so much for the opportunity.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So I have been curious. I know you were a military spouse and now you're a veteran spouse, but what branch were you guys in?
We were Army.
Army! Woo! Go Army!
Cool. Right? Go
Right?
Army. I'm gonna
Absolutely.
date us a lot, my husband came, and I'll say we
Yeah.
because the family serves, amen. So like
Yes.
we came in during the time of being all that you can be in
Yes.
the army.
Yes. And I know you're high school sweethearts. My husband and I
We
are
are
too.
awesome.
Yes, I'm hearing that a lot more with people that I'm interacting with, which is it's a breath of fresh air because
Yes.
as we were talking about before, the divorce rate is very high in the military, and then to hear that there are a lot of high school uh, sweethearts, it's like, oh,
Yes.
okay, this
It's
is nice.
it's one of those things. It's like when you watch the evening news and something has happened and it seems like the reporter has went and found the most disreputable individual in the crowd to stick the mic in their face. Like, you know, this person, all of these other people out here, you couldn't interview some of these other people. You just had to go find out. And that's the way it is within the military community as it relates to showing what successful marriage looks like. It's like those of
Hmm.
us who do have the longevity, who do have the experience, who do have the wisdom, we're not the ones that are speaking the loudest. And that could be good and bad. And we're also not the ones being asked the questions either, you
That's
know.
right. Yep.
Um, and this may make some people upset, Ivana. and I hope that it doesn't,
I
but,
hope so. I hope so, though. We
you
need
know,
this. Call me
in the
crazy, but I love that. Like, we need to get that
you know,
conversation going.
when you were as speakers and coaches, we know
Mhm.
everybody has popped out of the Cracker Jack box and wants to be a
Yeah.
speaker and a coach. And
Mhm.
um, I am just of the opinion in the few short years I've been on the planet that you cannot become a relationship expert in 5 years.
Right.
You, you know, if you're talking, you could be the relationship expert for the someone who has been in a relationship for 2 years because you have 3 years up on them.
Mhm.
So you have some experience to share. But being the relationship or the marriage expert, um, and no shade or tea, like no
Right.
bad things intended, but as a single person, there's just a lot of there's a lot of things that are not written in textbooks that you have
Mhm.
to experience to understand what I'm talking about. Like you have to have some experience under your belt for that. And
Mhm.
it takes a lot more than degrees. Degrees are great. You need to get them. Let me not disqualify that.
Right.
You need to get them. We need more people in those spaces that are
Mhm.
willing to help because marriages do need help.
Yeah.
But when you're getting down to the nitty gritty for those of us in the spouse community, like the young spouses right now who have been experiencing these deployments to Eastern
Mhm.
Europe and to Poland and that Eastern Bloc, the spouses, those of us who have lived through Kuwait, who've lived, through the Desert Storm,
Yeah.
through the Iraq and Afghanistan campaigns, through Kosovo
Mhm.
campaigns,
Mhm.
we are the ones who, can say, listen, baby, it's going to be all right. It's not
Yeah.
fair. It's not morally correct. And
That's
it is
right.
what the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marine says is mission first.
Mhm.
But you and your marriage will survive. And we have the
Absolutely.
tools. We have the tools that can help that generation, this newer, younger generation. We just need to be given the opportunity and have the platforms to speak truth that's
Yeah.
uplifting and encouraging instead of the negativity that pulls down.
100%. I agree with that. And like you said, just pulling out that positivity and that experience, that wisdom from out of the woodwork because we're there, we're
Hmm.
around. We just need to
Yeah,
have that platform and be able to share that and be willing to. There's times where we have all that knowledge and we don't share it.
we
And
don't share. Yeah.
even if we are asked or not, it's something that we keep kind of like, I don't know, my I have past ancestors that they'll learn something, but they'll keep it to themselves.
Hmm.
So it's almost like that, and it's just like,
Yeah, it's like
"No,
don't
we need
close
to
hold the
share."
information. We need to
Yeah.
know, right? Like we need to know, and I think some of that comes from um fear. Some of it comes from fear.
Mhm.
Some of it comes from uh in our military community, we're taught that we're not to fraternize. And there's good and bad to that. So let me say this, I am old school military and I had army and I have experience where, oh, that's why you said that. Okay.
Mm.
Tracking. Got it. Who won't do that again.
Yeah.
But 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 there's been other times where the fraternization was necessary. And even though it was frowned upon, we needed to do that in order to come together to build. So like during my husband's second deployment, the commander's wife and myself, we developed a friendship. Now, were we supposed to? Absolutely not. But it was necessary. This is this is being second rotation. He was going in for the initial invasion of Baghdad. So this is them coming back, having prepped, and they're gone out again.
Mm.
Different set of command. There were very few people still in that unit that it went with them from the first deployment. So we needed to come together to help because at that time, anybody that was walking, talking, and breathing and wanted to give, swear an allegiance and give an oath, they were letting them join. The saddest thing that we saw was this 18-year-old baby. And I'm standing there and trying not to make the promises they tell you not to make. That, my husband is talking to parents, please make sure my baby comes back. It's like, man, we can't do that.
Mm.
But we'll do our best.
Yeah.
Having that type of stuff going on, we had no choice. It's like,
Right.
listen, we've got these babies here. We're not that old ourselves. Let's just be honest at that time. We're not
No.
that old ourselves, but we have had, some deployments under our belt. So we had to break the rules in order to get to know each other, to share stories, to help each other in the areas of our marriage, in the areas of raising our children, of what do you say to the in-laws when they keep asking you questions that you
Right.
don't know the answer to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do? How do we keep it together? So sometimes, we use wisdom, we use discernment to know when it's okay to break those rules and when
Yeah.
those rules are in place and they need to firmly stay in place. But again, it takes as you said, it takes an older generation of military spouse to be able to share that um, wisdom in a way that is well received so that spouses don't always feel like they're separated and segregated and we can't
Mm.
trust one another. Like that has to stop. Don't know
Yes.
the perfect answer to it, but it does. There are appropriate times where that doesn't need to be. And if everyone is working together cohesively, it could be a good thing.
I just love how you worded all of that. That is so perfect. Thank you. I love that
No
because
problem.
it's a sticky situation, and even still, you have that worry about the fraternization within the
Mhm,
spouses, and it's just like, but why does that have to be like that, you know? And
mhm.
it's just that question. I'm a questioner, so I question
Yeah.
everything, and sometimes I do get in trouble for that,
I
but
mean, you have
that's
to ask the
okay.
questions. Like, I'll share a story if I can about
Yeah,
the
go for it.
situation that taught me why that's a rule that's in place.
Okay.
So my husband is a young E4 promotable, and we're in Fort Lewis, Washington, and
Hey.
he has the coolest OIC shop OIC on the planet. Like he he was so cool that we were on first name basis. Not him and my husband, of course, but he and I were on first name basis. Just a cool guy, regular, down to earth gentleman. And his wife was formerly the spouse of an NCO, but now she's the spouse of a major. And so she felt more comfortable at that time having conversations with other enlisted people. And so she and I became really good friends. And at that time, as an E4, we had 4 kids.
Okay.
So money always ran out before the month.
Yeah.
And on this particular occasion, it was the holidays and we paid all the bills. Everything was done, but there simply was not enough money left for Christmas presents. It just
Mhm.
wasn't. Like we could do one or two, but just to say we're going to have this big fab Christmas, it wasn't happening. It was not happening. And so my heart was a bit heavy on that. And
Mhm.
I'm having a conversation with her. And next thing I know, my husband calls me and I could tell he's speaking through his teeth. And I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? I don't know what I did. And then all of a sudden there's knocks at the door and people are coming in with these boxes of food. And I'm like, oh my God, she's my friend. So she wanted to make sure that she did everything she could to make sure that we had a great Christmas. The issue
Oh.
wasn't that we didn't have food. So now here we are. My husband's uberly embarrassed. All types of chain of command have been broken because she and I are friends. We've been bumped up to the top of the everything list when we were never on the list.
Mm.
So that didn't end well. I mean,
Oh.
so now we have this overflow and abundance of things. And I didn't realize that my husband was already working out a solution for the Christmas present issue. So, and that night was the unit's mandatory Christmas party.
Oh.
Oh, so everybody was cordial. She and I realized
Mm.
this
Yeah.
was not what it was. So, needless to say, our friendship was not the same from then because we realized that, yeah, it can't be
Mhm.
in that situation. We were just cool girlfriends
Yeah.
and having conversation between cool girlfriends ended up being something that it wasn't supposed to. Was I asking for the additional help? No, I was venting.
Right.
Was did she Really, like, in a civilian world, would anything have been wrong with what happened? No. But
Mhm.
in the military community, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so that blessing was like, okay, check. I
Yeah.
get it. I understand it. I don't have to like it, but I understand it. So in some situations, yes, that fraternization can turn into something that resembles favoritism. And but everybody involved in that chain of command might not feel the same as two people that had that original conversation. So
Yep.
for as much help as it brought in, it did bring a lot of static to both the OIC and to my husband, who is the E4 and he's the major.
And
And
he's
why are your
promotable
wives
too.
even
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Yes, now I can understand that for sure.
So,
Yep.
it was not bad. It was just, a learning lesson. It was a very
Yeah.
valuable learning lesson for me. We Fort Lewis was our third duty station. The
Okay.
first duty station was Fort Hood. Second duty station, he was in Kuwait, not excuse me, not Kuwait, but Korea. And then
Uh-huh.
he left Korea and we went to Fort Hood. So we still, I mean, Fort Lewis. So we were still learning.
Yeah.
We were still learning.
Yeah.
And that was
And
a big lesson.
yeah, and you had, in his unit, you had that camaraderie with a person that
Mhm.
is a person, but just
Is a
so
person.
happens to be exactly up on that totem pole. And,
Right, like,
with 4 kids,
it
you wanna be able to vent it out and
you
talk with someone who
yes, and
understands.
they had children, and she was quite comfortable,
Yeah.
because as I said, her previous marriage, she was an NCO's wife.
Mhm.
So she was more comfortable hanging out there. Not only were they officers, but they were field grade officers.
Mm.
So and a lot of young service members, whether you're officer or enlisted, they don't understand how that break. You have
Yep.
your junior enlisted, and then you
Mhm.
have your senior non-coms. There's limits to the fraternization there. Then you have your junior officers, and then you have your field grade officers, and there's not a lot of fraternization between those two until they get to the major or until the E6 becomes promotable and joins the E7s, E8s, and E9s.
Right.
If they let them in.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
it's definitely a segregation there,
Mhm.
and we don't have to like it, but in some instances, I definitely see where that is necessary.
Yeah, for
If we
sure.
liken it in a civilian community between the different levels of supervisors, it's really
Yeah.
hard to take instruction from your supervisor when you're friends.
Mhm.
Takes a
Yep.
great deal of maturity to be able to separate that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for clarifying that because I know a lot of us, and being different parts of the Army too, because then you have the aviation part and then you have, medics and all of that, and then the field, and there's so many
Y-
different,
It's so many different
avenues.
realms. Like, my
Yeah.
husband is military intelligence, and so that's a whole nother just they're a great
Yeah.
community. They have so much, like,
Yeah.
for
Oh my
us to
goodness.
remember to do and not to do, and, you
Mhm.
know, does he have a security clearance? Okay, well, now I
Mhm.
can't do this, I can't do that, "Well, you
Right.
wanna go here on vacation?" Yeah, you can want it all you want. You can go, but he can't go,
Yep.
like and then just depending on what duty station you're in, if you yourself have a job as a spouse, it's limiting, and
Yeah.
it's really important. I say that it's really important for us as spouses to take that time to understand the rules, to
Yes.
understand the ARs, to understand the FMs, because when you understand it, understanding is not agreement, people.
Right.
Understanding is not agreement. When you understand it, you're able to navigate it better.
Mhm.
For me, that meant I became my husband's study buddy.
Mm, I love
You know,
that.
I you have to understand it in order to stand up and fight for what is written that says you can have, and in order to understand why you're getting the no's that you're getting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Instead of complaining about it. That's, like,
exactly.
the worst thing, especially with social media now, it's just
Mm,
complain, complain, complain. Well, let's take the
complain.
time to understand and not make it worse on the soldier because,
Mhm.
honestly, that complaint is not helping anyone.
No, no.
We're
I
not
mean, you
getting
brought it.
the results that we want,
We're
that we
not getting
need.
the results that we want. Like, and some of the, and I'm a spouse, right?
Mhm.
So, but I understand certain things, and OPSEC is very important to me. Operational security is very important to me, and it should be very important to every military spouse. And you mentioning social media brought that brought that up. Social media is great, but baby, don't let everybody know where he at or where
That
she is
too.
at.
That too.
You don't want that because everybody out there, it does not mean them any good.
Yep.
I don't care what your opinion is of the conflict or lack of conflict or whatever. Your opinion is your opinion, but
Right.
everybody's safety is more important than your opinion.
Absolutely.
We want them to go
Absolutely.
in grace and to return in grace, going over
Mhm.
there alive and coming back alive. And that
Mhm.
means he can't share his location with you.
Yeah.
He or she has no business tagging their locations in the
Mhm.
social media posts. Stay off the social media. And I know many
Absolutely.
people will not want to hear that,
I know.
but if you don't want the person that's trying to kill them to know where they are, I'm gonna suggest you do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna suggest you hold on to what you got.
Yep. Now, I also want to go over, how was it that you got into mentorship and coaching? Because as a military spouse, that's another thing that's kind of weighing on
Mhm.
us is like, when is it our turn? Right?
Yeah.
Is it when he's in? Is it after he's out? How was it for you? I'm curious.
That's a great question. And honestly, looking back on it, people have asked me that. It started for me when he was at E4. You don't look at it like that, right? Like I wasn't officially a coach, but wherever you are when your spouse gains a degree of supervisory capacity and they have soldiers under them. So this is officer and enlisted. At that point, if they have spouses themselves, then you should be getting to know the spouses or at least offering the invitation to let them get to know you.
Oh, I
Because if
love
he or
that.
she is in a position of authority, then that means the people who are under them have probably got less time in.
Yeah.
Not always, but probably have less time in. And so there are going to be times where you may need to tell that spouse something or maybe need to share with them some things. Something is going on. And so maybe they're doing, an unofficial counseling and having that conversation with the service member, right? These things happen. And if that person is married and you're there, guarantee your significant other is going to be saying, well, when my wife and I experienced this is what she did, or
Mhm.
this is something that my wife does. Maybe your wife can connect with my wife. Maximize those opportunities to learn because what Ben and I decided to do was when he first came um, in our first duty station, we had terrible NCO leadership. So we were determined not to be what they were.
Mhm.
So to give what we wish we would have gotten, we were lucky that the apartment complex we moved in had senior non-commissioned officers there and retirees who kept us out of a world of hurt,
Yeah.
from getting those stupid, just bring in your LES and you get this amount of credit. And we're
Mhm.
happy thinking we're going shopping and tell somebody in the complex and they're like, no, no, dude, don't do that.
Yep.
We didn't have that from our NCO leadership, but we
Ah,
did get it from other NCOs.
okay.
So that's what we decided that we would do. Once he got into that position, and that's what we did the entire time that he was active duty, and even now in his retirement, because he still works in that same position, still around military and still in the
Oh,
MI community. So you still get that opportunity. And now it's on a broader scale.
got
Now
it.
we're coaching and speaking to officers' wives, NCOs' wives, soldiers' wives, other contractors' wives, GS wives. Like you still,
Yes.
you have that influence. So start there. Start there. And if it's something that you like and you know that you want to
Mm.
continue to do, then throughout your career, allow the Army to pay for your education and your certifications. And don't rush yourself. Give yourself grace. I had 5 children during this time, people. 5 children and many duty stations. It didn't happen like boom, 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 boom. Like it wasn't like a
Right.
domino. It was some breaks in it. So give yourself
Mhm.
grace when you have to take that break in your learning. If it's something you know you want to do and you want to get the certifications, you want to get the degrees, get them. Let the Army pay for it. Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force. Let me not leave them out there brand
Right,
new to the
that's
party,
right.
right?
Yep.
Like they're brand new to the party. Let them pay for it. Give yourself
Mhm.
grace and, get your education where you can, when you can, and make sure that you're picking the right volunteer opportunities
Yeah.
um, that will help you further your education and further your scope of knowledge with
Mhm.
becoming a mentor, a coach, a facilitator, whatever it is you want to become.
I love that. And mentor ministry too, is that the same realm, or have you what was that
So
like?
so ministry actually came before the certifications for the coaching and speaking. Uh, with ministry, it was again it was birthed out of helping service members. So we lived in Fort Hood, Texas at that time. We were living on post, and because we have so many children, I mean everybody else in the neighborhood did too. And there were young families that just needed some extra. And so we would
Mhm.
go to the Family Life Center there in our housing area. And when I be up there working out or doing something like that, it's like you can just spot the spouse that's struggling. Like,
Yes.
you could just,
Yes.
oh, baby need a hug.
Uh-huh.
you know?
Yes, I can relate to
yes.
that. You get that
y-
feeling, that calling, yeah.
Yes. And so I did that a lot intentionally.
Mhm.
At that time, it wasn't necessarily so that I can coach them. It was so that I
Right.
can minister to them the love of Jesus,
Yes.
and meet them where they were. Because a lot of times, as spouses, we are so consumed by, and not through, it's not intentional, it just happens.
Mhm.
Military life is overwhelming, and you
Yeah.
lose your identity in that.
Yep.
And if you keep having children and you keep PCSing, and it seems like, God, I can't complete anything, it
Yes.
leads you to a place of depression, and we really don't even realize that we're there.
Mhm.
And depending on your cultural background, you don't
Mhm.
want to accept it. You don't want to acknowledge it. It's like
Yep.
black people don't do that. Like
Yep.
Christian people don't do that, but we
Yeah.
do. We get depressed.
Yep.
We have those issues, and so that was the thing. I've always believed that anybody that God anointed, He anointed them. So if He anointed you for mental health, He anointed you for that. If He anointed you to do surgery on my body, He anointed you for that. For me, He anointed me to be able to communicate. I'm an excellent communicator.
Mm.
And so I would meet these women, and a lot of them, you know, at that time were coming from generations of broken homes. I'm blessed
Mm.
that my parents are still alive and well.
Yeah.
They get on my nerves, but it's a wonderful thing that they're here to get on my nerves. Praise
Yeah.
God.
Yes,
it,
absolutely.
it just, we would see these young women, and sometimes just like, she doesn't know how to write a budget. She
Mhm.
doesn't know how to shop at the commissary because she doesn't know how to make a grocery list. She doesn't know how to cook. Cooking will save money. Would be great if she knew how to do that. So I'll open up my home for these small group Bible studies. But more practically, I would teach them how to coupon. Let's go to the commissary together. Let
Uh,
me show you what days to go to the commissary when the prices are down versus when the prices are up, which
yes.
coupons you can use. And back then they had double coupon days. As that went away, you still learn the tricks, right?
Yep.
Let me show you how to do that. What is your husband's favorite meal? What do the kids like? Let me show you how to prepare this. You bring over your pots, your pans, your ingredients. This is what we're going to do,
Oh my
and
gosh, so you
then
took them under your wing.
yes. And
Oh,
that's
I
what
love that.
Jesus did. Like, that's a
Yeah.
part of ministry. It's not just about me talking about Genesis to Revelations and this is a sin and that's a sin. People know
Yeah.
when they're sinning. I don't have to point that
Mhm.
out. What people want is solutions. And so that's
Yeah.
what ministry was and is for us. My husband did the same thing on the weekend. He loves to work on cars. The sprocket shops are on post, but if the young man
Right.
doesn't know what a wrench is, what a flathead
Mhm.
screwdriver is, that does him no good.
That's right.
So he would do those things and still does to help them. That builds people up. So ministry, it built itself into our lives,
Mm,
at a very difficult time in our life, in our marriage. We returned back to our roots, which was our Christian roots. We were raised in church, we were raised in Christian households. And we did what a lot of people do. We left, and we truly left.
yeah.
But things got really bad really fast through our own doing. Let me just say this. It was some
Mhm.
stupid choices we made, and we were suffering the consequences of those stupid choices. And we did not know how to fix it at all. And we were trying to adult 500 plus miles away from our parents.
Yeah.
And in that search, we returned to the love of Jesus Christ and looking at his word as an adult versus as a child being told what to do. We were able to see things that we had never realized before. And it completely began and encouraged us to change the way that we think. Because when we change the way that we think, we change what we say. My thoughts
Yeah.
dictate my words dictate my actions, and my actions create my reality.
Mhm.
When that lesson was learned, and it's clearly written throughout the course of scripture,
Mhm.
that was just life changing for us. And so we wanted to share that with as many people as possible. We weren't anybody's theologians at the time and didn't want to be anybody's ministers or speakers. We just wanted to help people not go through what we went through. Like, don't do that. If you can help it, don't do that. So we did it the best way we knew. I'm a great cook. By this time, I understood how to manage the household. My husband at this time was a great NCO, and he understood how to build soldiers and create great NCOs. And so, hey, and he was great at fixing cars. He's
Mm,
excellent at fixing cars. So we took the two things we were good at and taught people how to do them, that brought change into their lives. And they were like, "We want what you guys have. How can I get more of what you got? How did you do that?" And that is how we entered into ministry
that is so
and have been
beautiful.
doing that ever since.
I love that you said it was built into our lives, that it through the foundation that you have, that passion, that reality of the knowing and the calling too,
Mhm.
that's everything.
It
And how
is.
that just gets woven into your daily life, and it's effortless. You don't have to
It is.
force it. You just have to
Right.
listen and obey. That's it.
Yes. That's it. That's it.
Wow.
And we make it difficult. Like,
Mhm.
it wasn't an instant it wasn't an
Right.
instant transformation. We fought a lot. And to be fair, we can still fight it a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Because our will wants what our will wants.
Mhm.
But when we surrender that will to the will of the Father, his will is the perfect will for my life. And it produces so much greatness on the inside of us. Not that what we want is wrong. It may just not be in the right time. I mean, it could be so many different things, but just surrendering your will to the will of the Father. It's like a little kid
Yeah.
that you have $1,000 check for the 5-year old, or even let's say for the 15-year old. You have this
Mhm.
$1,000 check for the 15-year old. And as parents, we want to give it to them. But we also know before the end of the day, that 15-year old is going to run through that $1,000 and have absolutely nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that
Yeah.
the, the money isn't there. That's what it's like, surrendering our will to the will of the Father. Let your parent guide you. That's
Mm.
what we teach our children. Let us guide you. And I promise, Padawan, you will fly. You will become a great Jedi. We have to do that. I love Star
Yes.
Wars.
Oh,
We
I do
have
too.
to. I am so in love with The Mandalorian 3
Oh
season
my
1.
goodness. Me too.
Look, Wednesday is not getting here fast enough, okay? I
It's
know that
really
was so off
not.
topic and random,
I
but
know.
it is not getting here fast enough.
We love it too. But that's how I feel as well, the little kids and, like, even people and I've actually heard of Star Wars being a analogy to,
Mhm.
spirituality and Christianity and
Mhm.
everything because of the Force. You don't see, you just have that faith, you
You have
believe.
that faith, right?
Yeah,
Like every one of us has a measure of faith.
yeah.
What we do with that measure of faith is up to us.
Mhm.
And in Jeremiah chapter 1, and I'll just paraphrase it a little bit for those that might be interested. You can look it up. In
Yeah,
Jeremiah chapter 1, the Bible tells us that before we were conceived in our mother's womb, that the Lord knew us.
yeah,
He consecrated us. Consecration is just a big word to say he brought us into his hugs, into his arms, and just loved us. And he gave us all of our greatness right then before we were conceived.
yeah,
So no matter how your conception happened, you were on purpose for God.
yeah,
You were never a mistake. And everything great about you was there from that moment. And that, like, when that light bulb went off in my head as a woman who was struggling with my identity, like I had no idea who I was, what was happening. And I just knew that I wanted to be more than Daryl, Devontae, Denise, David, and Marquez's mother, and absolutely more than Sergeant Monley's wife,
yeah.
more than what is your sponsor's last for. And you can ring them off better than you can
Yes.
ring off your own, right?
Yes.
I, I knew it was more to life than that. I had to be here for more than just keeping my husband's house nice.
Yeah.
Like, God more than presented his table. Like, God, what is this? And when
Mhm.
I saw that, like literally, it brought tears to my eyes. I cried for hours. Like before my conception in my mother's womb, you knew me
Mm.
and you made me this fabulous and wonderful person. But even more than that, if you just go to the beginning of the book in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 through 28, the Lord tells us that He created us male and female. He
Yeah.
made us in His image and in His likeness, and He gave us dominion and power
Yeah.
over everything on the earth. He gave me dominion and power. My God, that's
Mm.
just locked up on the inside of me. How do I unlock it? That was
Yeah.
what our ministry journey was all about. Learning how to unlock the greatness that God already put in us and then sharing with other people. Look, it doesn't matter what your OER says. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what your NCOER says. It doesn't matter how many times you went on USA Jobs and didn't get selected, or you
Mm.
got selected and you didn't make it through. Like, it doesn't matter about any of that.
Mm.
Who you are is wonderful. Step into your greatness, operate in your greatness, and be you from one duty station to the next, however many duty stations you go to in the life of your spouse's career. Everywhere that you show up, your greatness showed up with you. The duty station doesn't make you, you make the duty station.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
make it doesn't matter other people's opinion of you, what GS position you have, NAV position
Mhm.
you have, wage grade position you have. If you don't have it, none of that has anything to do with your identity or your worth.
Mhm.
And we will preach that message until Jesus calls us home,
Mhm.
because that stuff is temporal. Who
Yeah.
you are is fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. Go out and
Yeah.
be great. Nobody else has to like it. It
Oh my
doesn't
gosh, I
matter.
love it. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Whether you're active or whether you're retired, whether you're civilian, anything, you
Anything.
are greatly made.
Yeah, absolutely. You are made in the image of God. How much greater can that get?
Mm.
If He gave you dominion and power, Luke 10:19 says He gave us so much dominion and power that we can trample upon serpents and scorpions and over all the powers of the enemy, and that there is nothing that can by any means hurt us. He didn't say the weapons wouldn't form, but He did promise us it
Mhm.
wouldn't prosper.
Yeah.
Many weapons over my husband's career formed
Mhm.
to tear us down, to destroy us. Some of the weapons we created. Some
Yeah.
of the weapons came from injustices, any of the isms, sexism, racism,
Right.
classism, any of the isms. They're real and they're out there, but they
Mhm.
don't define us.
That's right.
They do not define us. At
And
the
then
end of the
some
day, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It's there. Are they
Yeah.
worthy of a conversation? Absolutely. Is
Oh, yeah.
it worthy to be sought out solutions and bring some practical applications to some theories that we talk about all the time but never put, into action? Absolutely. But whether somebody does something to change it or not, it has no impact on the greatness on the inside of me. I'm
Yeah.
still great.
Yeah.
You're still great. Every listener that will hear this podcast,
Yes.
I don't care whether you got the promotion or not, you're still great. Go out there and create your own table, create your own opportunity. It's in you. Do it. And you don't have to wait until retirement.
Right.
You can
And
do
it
it on active duty.
yes, and you can do it messy. Do it
Yes,
messy. Just do
have
it.
to do it messy.
Yeah.
We have to do it messy, right? Like
Yeah,
if we don't do it and do it messy, then we won't do it. Because
exactly.
right, like that
That
perfectionism,
perfectionism.
come on. That's the thief of time, baby. Like you wasting
Yep,
time.
yep. I'm having so much fun with you, LaQuita.
I am definitely enjoying this conversation. Oh,
Me
yes.
too. I wish I
Thank
could
you so
keep
much for
going.
having me.
Absolutely. And real quick before we go, because you've already hit on so many topics that I had already in my head to ask you. Tell us about the books that you have written. I know you have little kid books, and then you have adult books.
So
Tell us about those.
so I've been in a number of anthologies with other great co-authors. And one of the recent anthologies that I was a part of is called Fearless Living. And the visionary author from that is Marianne Rivera Danner. Amazing sister. She is absolutely a fierce, fierce, fierce woman. Like she lives her life fearlessly for sure.
Oh,
You
that's the
guys should check
best.
that out. Um, and it one of the most recent one that I have as well, another anthology. It just came out. It's called Own It.
Oh,
Own It, the
I love
anthology.
it.
Yes, Own It. And it also has a workbook that goes with it.
Perfect.
Check
Yes,
those
because
out.
just like you said, all of these things that we have in place, but we just don't do them.
Right.
That workbook is just gonna help us to get there
It's going to help
and
us to get.
do it.
Yes. And
Yeah.
my most recent solo project is called Redefining Success: 8 tools that I've used to develop a growth mindset.
Mm.
Of course, I'm biased because I wrote it,
Of course,
but
that's okay.
it is an amazing book, and I leave in this book on. I endeavor for the reader to come away with truly 8 tools.
Okay.
8 tools that I have used and that are very practical, easily implementable to develop that growth mindset, right? And the workbook for that is actually in its finishing stages. I am waiting for the um, because because I'm an indie author, I'm just waiting for the corrections to come back and
Okay.
for them to say, okay, let's click print. We're ready to print. So
Oh my goodness, that's exciting.
yes, it is. So I'm hopeful that by the end of this month, I will be doing a premiere for the workbook that goes with Redefining Success. And it's
Yes,
going
be
to
on
be
the
a devotional.
lookout.
Yes, yes, be on the lookout. So if you go to Amazon, all of my books are on Amazon. Just put
Okay.
my name in
Okay.
and those books will pop up. The books and the
Awesome.
podcast will pop up.
Perfect. Yes, because you have your own podcast with your husband too, right?
I do. Well, he comes on sometimes. So,
Okay.
my podcast is called LaQuita's Toolbox. We recently, I think the video that you saw, we were actually
Mhm.
guests on someone else's show.
Okay.
Those of you that are listening and you want to know more about marriage, because this is a great podcast to hear that on. The other show that we were on is called Becoming a Millionaire Power Couple. And
Mm.
the key word there is becoming, right? Like
Okay.
everybody may not be there yet,
Yeah.
but what do I do to become that millionaire power couple? And it's
Mm.
so much more than what business strategies that we need to have. That podcast focuses more on what do I need to do to build a solid marriage? Because when I'm
Yes.
building that solid marriage, then that's going to flow over into building a business together as a couple. Because I'm here to tell you, if you have a weak marriage and you're trying to build a business, you're in trouble.
Yep.
you're in trouble. But if you have a
Mhm.
strong marriage and you're building a business together, the hiccups will come, but you'll be able to overcome them because you've already practiced the principles of effective communication, active
Mhm.
listening, and all those great things. And that'll flow over into your business growth. And you'll have a positive impact in becoming a millionaire power couple. So check that out. We have an interview there. I think that we're in season 2. We're getting ready to work with them again for season 3. So I'm excited about that.
Yes.
It's
Oh
just,
my goodness.
yeah, it's we did some great work there. One of the other couples is retired Navy, and so the goal is to bring in as many military families, and they were high school sweethearts as well.
Hey,
So
see?
yes,
There's a
so
theme there.
it is. It's a theme. It's we want to show our military community that longevity in your marriage. We've been to probably we've my husband went to Korea. He had multiple deployments overseas, multiple to Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, all of those things. We've survived Fort Hood. I think Fort Hood is infamous
Mm,
everywhere. We've
yep.
been to Fort Hood 3 times and we are still together. Like
Yes.
we've been to Germany, Oh, you married, you go to Germany. It's not over. We had a fabulous time. Best vacation experience ever for 7
Oh, I
years.
bet. Oh, 7?
Yes,
Oh,
we didn't
you
wanna
guys.
leave.
Oh,
Every opportunity we got to stay, we stayed.
yes. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's not about the duty station. I guess if you
Mhm.
take that away, the listeners, it's not about the duty station that you go to that will destroy your marriage. What destroys your marriage is happening internally between the 2 of
Mhm.
you. If
Mhm.
your marriage is a vehicle, you pick your favorite car. My favorite car is the Audi A8. There is no way I'm going to give the keys of my car to my 5-year-old and
Mhm.
6-year-old grandchildren. They're gonna
Mm.
drive it in the ditch.
Mhm.
If your marriage is that Audi A8 and you have 2 people in there that don't know how to drive right, is it the car's fault? No. So it's not the duty station's fault.
Right.
It's the 2
I
people in
love
it.
that.
Work hard on your marriage, and your marriage will be great for you.
Thank you so much, LaQuita. This has been amazing. I appreciate your time
No
and
problem. Thank you
all
for
of your
having me.
wisdom. Yes. What an amazing conversation that was. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise, your knowledge, and your skills with the Coaching the Brave community. We appreciate you so much. And for you listeners out there, if you enjoyed it and it really touched your heart and you thought of someone that it could benefit, share it with them. Thank you again for listening. I encourage you to review, check out my website as well, YovannaChase.com, and find me on Instagram and Facebook at Yovanna Chase Coaches. And I am here because I want to help you succeed. I want to help you be a more positive you. And right now, I'm doing a promotion where you will get a one on one holistic fat loss program. um, you can get a free 15-minute call with me. So if you head on over to my IG, under my bio, you can find that Calendly link where you can go ahead and sign up for that. I'm excited to speak with you in person. Oh my gosh, through this Zoom virtual life here. So if you are interested or know someone who might be interested in losing 20 pounds in 90 days holistically, please share, sign up. And again, I cannot wait to talk with you next week. Have a wonderful week.